Carmanah Walbran Provincial Park. Here we are. First thing you notice is how green everything is. It really is just green. Giant trees everywhere. And small trees too on the way up. Everything just naturally regenerating here. It does take your eyes a little while to get used to it. I don't think I've ever been anywhere as green as this. I'm not sure how well the camera picks it up. So just gonna hike down the trail a little while. What I'd like to do is, it's been raining all night. I slept in the parking lot all night in the truck, and I'd like to fly the drone up just when the mist clears a little bit, hopefully, and I can see where we are exactly. It's an amazing place, it really is, and I think I'm totally alone, and it's the middle of well, early July, should I say. Nobody's here. Just look at this place. The only thing that's here is me and the wildlife. But what a place this is. To think that it was nearly logged. They wanted to clear cut the lot. Giant spruce everywhere. Bigger ones than this that we just passed. It's I'm really enjoying this, and there's thousands of hectares of it as well, but the trails only go so far. Yeah, I did some filming of some work I did at Cathedral Grove, hazard tree removals on and off, like in the last few years, in December more specifically. And that's a very nice place to visit. Lots of big old firs and cedars. It gets a lot of recognition, you know. But I tell you what, I've never been to a place like this. It's just different. It just seems really unique and untouched. And the weird thing is there's nobody here. I mean, it is a bit of a drive, but there's nobody here. No visitors today. It's a Saturday. And no campers, and it's like the jewel of the west coast, you know, of the island of Canada in general, I think, because it's just totally natural ecosystem, you know, all codependent, but nobody's here. And yet parts of it are in danger of being logged. The unprotected parts, further, I don't know which, forgot my bearings, I think it'll be east. The upper Walbran Valley, I think it's called, that's the trail. So it really needs more visitors to come out and make a fuss and write about it, because I mean, just look at these trees. And not just the big ones, but the small ones. There's so much being regenerated. Old logs, you see. It looks like a hemlock growing off this old fallen log, and it's just like one thing. like a system, not just a collective group of trees. Yeah, amazing place. I'm just only looking at getting a tiny perspective of it. Look at that old spruce. This is the Walbran Creek. Turns into quite a big river. I was sort of wading, stumbling around waist deep in it a couple of weeks ago. I won't tell that story as to why. But yeah, I've just come off the trail. Apparently further up, way further up, where you can camp the sandbars, you can camp on the side of the river, and often you'll see cougar tracks in the morning where the cougars come down for a drink or whatever. I got a feeling I should just, it's misty like, but this is a wide open space, so I should just put the drone up quickly, just so you can have a quick look around from above, so I can look too. Because these opportunities, and it's stopped raining for now, it's still misty. I'm wary about the drone and mist and losing sight of it, because I've already crashed one into a canyon because it lost GPS. Same place actually, same vicinity, just way further downriver. I was looking for something. So I'll do that right now and we can just have a quick look around. I don't think we'll see much because of the mist, but I think it'll still look pretty cool, whatever it is. Yeah, it's huge. And look up. I'm going to take a picture of this this sign, and you can read it. I was going to talk about this fella a little bit, but it'd be actually, this is handy because it's be quicker if I just take a picture. You pause the video and read what it says about this fella. Top man. So we have a few giants here now, spruce again. I think this is the grove that is named after the fella on the that we just read about a minute ago. I'd like to fly the drone up here. A couple of these are looking like they might be 300 feet. If I'm flying the drone, I need a gap to go up, and I'm not very brave since I crashed the last one. But I think if I fly it out a little bit and then up, we'll be able to take a look at the at least these couple of giants anyway. See that old stump? It's collapsed years ago, and look at all the life growing on it since. It's a big tree, was, but it's all put to good use. Isn't that amazing? And it just goes on and on. Somewhere. Noticed how spaced out everything is too, like big trees, old trees, young trees, dead trees, fallen trees, all like natural selection, you know. Everything's intact, it's kind of orderly in a way, but without any person's intervention at all. It's amazing. I know I keep going on about it, but the colours and the sounds and the smell. So we changed direction before, and now we're heading upriver. I think the trail runs sort of adjacent. You can always kind of hear the river wherever you are. Still pretty misty on the hills, as you can see. It's nice and cool. It's July, early July, but the air is cool here. It's refreshing. This old giant just gave up. I'm about maybe 9 feet off the ground, 10 feet. Yeah. Nobody's mourning the loss of these trees as they just go back to the ground. If you cut a tree down in Victoria, a Garry oak, some decrepit old Garry oak, the size of this hemlock, people are crying, literally. They've never seen a tree like this. So the boardwalk trail ended kind of 30 minutes ago. I'm still hiking upstream. There is little markers, because this trail isn't maintained only by people treading on it. So there is little markers been tied off like this, tape here and there, just to keep you on the right track. It's relatively easy going. A few bumps here and there, a few logs to climb over. But I want to get upstream because there's some pools there, Emerald Pool or something like that it's called, part of the river where it slows down. And but I think I'm an hour away yet from that point. Spike on this stick, drilled it or screwed it into the hole. It's a piece of threaded rod, and then put a spike on it. So it's handy on these slippery logs. When you're walking, you can just kind of get something to lean on, because you're passing a lot of these logs. And I haven't slipped off yet, but if you did fall, you could hurt yourself, and this is not a great place to get stuck. Obviously no cell service or anything like that. So even though I could walk across that log easy, normally in somebody's backyard, I wouldn't do it out here, because there's really no help at hand. You come to a place like this, it's obviously a good idea to tell somebody where you are and how long you're going to be there for. So this is Paradise Pool, apparently, part of the river. I thought it was supposed to be blue. a blue-green colour. But not at the moment. It's kind of dark and murky, deep too. I think because there was so much rain last night. So that was a long walk just to get here to see a brown bit of river. Still sort of nice. It doesn't look very inviting when it's this colour. I was contemplating having a swim. Seriously. But I think maybe I shouldn't. Looks like it drops away quickly there, and yeah, it's quite cold too, and it's a cold day. I'm not going to dry off very quickly, although my feet are already soaking wet, as most of me is actually. Not that it's rained, it's just when you're walking through the bushes you just end up soaking regardless. Just looking for tracks. No, nothing, or nobody's been down here today. But I haven't seen a soul the whole time, like not past anybody. You know, even on the boardwalk areas before, there was nobody there at all. You know, not a car in the parking lot but my truck. So you wonder why nobody comes here, or hardly anybody comes here. It's, as hopefully you'll see from some of the footage, it's a magnificent place. But then again, you know, I watch the local news and the newspapers or whatever, and nobody ever says to come here. Nobody, you're never encouraged to come to a place like this. Like the tourist information centres, it's all about, they want you to go to places like Bouchard Gardens, Bouchard, however you say it, you know, to look at some flowers. I mean, there's nice flowers there if you're into flowers, but I went to the place once, and you know, and there's, I think, hundreds of thousands visit every year, and it's in Victoria, and it's nicely kept and what have you, and there's flowers and little trees and shrubs and plants, but you'll see people with big cameras lining up to take a photo of a flower that size, that fucking size, you know. And we have all this, like, and you saw all the giant trees before. It's a massive natural ecosystem, and nothing is manufactured about it, and there's nobody here. They'd rather be looking at a flower, you know, while lining the pockets of a billionaire family that owns the place, you know, putting more money in their pockets. But I suppose this place is free though, and then again, you know, the government will collect money from the visitors at Bouchard Gardens through taxes and everything else. So here is free, and they can't take any money off you, so I suppose it's low on the list of priorities. That's why they cut the funding to the place, I believe. Why most of the trails are not maintained. Nobody works here. Bouchard Gardens employs hundreds of people full time, fucking about with little bits of flowers that size, and nobody works here. I think somebody checks in maybe once a week, I don't know. Puts a few signs up saying trail open, trail closed, who knows. So I'm going to sit for a minute and then head back to the truck. It's quite a way back. It's I don't know, it feels like I've been walking for hours to get here, and I've been going quite fast too. But it wasn't, this bit was a bit of a letdown. I wanted to see a blue bit of river, but it's brown at the moment. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this place, Carmanah Walbran. This is why you should come to Canada. And if you're Canadian, if you're already Canadian, and you're thinking of visiting the West Coast, or you live here, this is the place to come. You know, it's natural, it's free, it costs you nothing. Bring your kids here, it's marvellous. Although this trail I've done today is a bit of a long way for little kids. Obviously if you're disabled too, you've no chance. But if you are able-bodied, then this is a great place. This is what the West Coast used to look like before it got annihilated by chainsaws. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. There's one more thing to do today before I drive home. It's about a 4-hour drive. We've actually left the park now, and we're on a logging road in the middle of an old cut block, as you can see. Sun's in my eyes. Go in the shade. So shade. So yeah, apart from me having a beer in a minute and relaxing. Yesterday, well, I didn't mention, yesterday we came here to find the tallest tree in Canada, which is in the provincial park grounds, but it's not accessible by any trail or it's a bit of a mystery. Few people have seen it. There used to be an old trail which was several hours long, but that got closed down years ago. Anyway, we came yesterday to find it. It's really frustrating. You're hiking through thick bush and stumps and fallen trees. It takes hours to make any progress. Didn't find it. It was it's supposed to be on the edge of the river, where the same river, we're much further downstream now, the ocean is only a couple of kilometers away. The same river that we were walking alongside today. So anyway, it is located on a map, the BC Big Tree Registry, and several supposed eyewitnesses who said they've walked to the tree from the ocean side along the West Coast Trail, which is another story I won't get into. Anyway, it's not where any of them say it was. So, and to get there, to go to the trouble of getting there, and I tell you, man, walking through this shit it's hard work. Very frustrating. The tree wasn't there, so I mean, made up for it today because I had a great day on my own. Yesterday I had Scott and Riley with me. So what I'm going to do now is fly the drone up from here and fly over to the river, on the off chance, the very remote chance that you might see the tree. It's a giant spruce. There's giant spruce everywhere, obviously, once we get over this little bit of crap. But it has apparently a distinctive dead spiky top. 320 feet, I think, or something like that. So, and it's supposed to be in a little bit of space on its own, not congested with other trees. So there's a little bit of space, and it's on the far side of the river. So tell me if you spot it. Alright, Thanks.